Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have the most amazing business owner in the world, my man Nick.
Hey man, hey, good morning. Thanks
Hello,
for
Nick.
having me here.
Hey, good to see you, man.
I'm outside, sorry, because I just finished the meeting and jumped out from there directly to here. Didn't have time to
Okay,
go back to the office.
no, that's fine. That's fine, man. Wow, it's such a sunshiny day where you are.
Yeah, it's amazing here, man. Yesterday it was raining like cats and dogs, and today it's like a blue sky. It's like China
Wow,
is amazing.
that's so awesome, man. Right now it's actually like overcast. There was rain earlier this morning, so thank you for
Hmm.
the delay, man. I appreciate it.
No worries, no worries. It fits really perfectly actually, because I had meeting after that, so it was like finish one thing and went to another. It's pretty good. Yeah, no worries.
Okay, great. How was your meeting? Did you have a good one?
Yeah. It went pretty well. It's just like initial meeting basically to know the client a little bit, but nothing special yet. Hopefully, it will go somewhere from there.
Okay, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And Nick, man, you were telling me about your business. Like you've gone like because I was telling the audience like you've hit businesses on like multiple levels. Like you were able to actually exit the business, and I think that that's really an incredible process because a lot of people think they have businesses, but they actually have jobs. How were you able to actually exit your business, your first
I
business?
think that's pretty much like one of the toughest decisions the business owner can ever make, because business is like a baby, right? At one side, you kind of when you start it, you grow it mostly on your own, right? I mean, if it's a small startup, then later you start hiring people. But as you said, majority of people keep it as a job, right? So they go there every day, they sit there controlling, especially in Asia, people like controlling, micromanaging, and can never take it as growing up. I think for me, the whole process it's like I got a baby, and then when the baby turned 16, I let it go. So I don't hold to it. I'm trying to make business independent, because if you really want to sell your business one day to anyone, it has to be independent. It cannot only rely on yourself and, like, for example, your assistant or your business partner. The company should run based on the management and layer by layer execution of the orders. Like, as an owner, you should only supervise at that point. When you reach that point, you can easily exit the business, because when somebody purchases your company, they would understand that the company is not based on you. The company is not only run by you, but it actually does everything by itself. So the investment would bring some profits to the new owner. Otherwise, it's just a loop, right? Like, you're in the center of the universe for this company, and once you're not there, nobody's doing anything. Then there is no way anybody gonna purchase that.
Wow, man, that's amazing. And so, like, before you had your business that you sold, did you have experience to business?
Sorry, the connection isn't that great. Can you repeat the question, please, man?
I'm saying before you sold your
Oh.
business that
Mm.
you had in Shanghai, have any prior experience to having or owning a business?
Not really. I mean, I was a part of the business, because my first business wasn't purely mine. I did it together with Chinese partners, and I was like a junior partner in the first company I owned. It was a group of training centers for English, for learning English, and I wasn't the main shareholder, main stakeholder. When I joined that business, it was already operating, but it was operating on a very small scale, basically like 5 6 employees, and a very tiny, basically no profit, break even, more or less, I think. Yeah. But then later, when we grew up to really significant audience, more than 2,000 customers and more than 100 employees, at that point, I wasn't the only, and I wasn't the main stakeholder. So that was like a school for me. I learned a lot. I got a really good teacher at that moment. So I think that even I was a part of the business as a business owner, at the same time I was a student at this. at this business because I learned from the main partner how he managed this business as a main shareholder. So that was my first experience, and I think it was great because I could really learn a lot. I didn't randomly make a decision. We based every decision on the vote. Like we had a board of directors basically, and we based everything on discussion and vote. And it taught me a lot because I learned how people think, how experienced people think, how the main partner executed the orders, what kind of ideas he had. So I believe that one was the first very important experience. While growing up, while I was growing up, my dad had businesses from like my childhood since I remember myself. So I was also be able always to ask him the opinion. But you know, the Western business and Chinese business are slightly different. So sometimes his vision would not really fit the Chinese reality. That's why I think in the initial stage it was good to ask him some suggestions, but I don't think that later on it became that valuable. More of the learning, I mean, the learning from the main partner in the first business was more valuable, I think, at that point.
Wow, wow, that's amazing, man. Okay, so your dad was in business. What kind of a business did your dad own?
He had multiple businesses throughout his life. The main one, was since I was like a kid until I guess 2008, was the transportation business. So the moving, relocation, deliveries throughout Europe and US. It's a multinational company. It was a pretty big company. At least that's what I remember, because in
Okay.
2008 when the crisis happened, he lost everything pretty much to zero. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, but as long as I remember, it was something related to transportation.
Okay, okay. Wow, that's quite different from teaching ESL and teaching English.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing that it's amazing that you're able to take some of those lessons and did you take any of those lessons that you learned from your dad and maybe sort of apply it to your training centers?
I think in the beginning I did ask him really a lot because running business is pretty much the same. It doesn't really matter what kind of business you run. You know, I mean, basic management skills, communication with people. I think I learned a lot from my dad how to communicate with people, especially when you need to discuss the salary or hire someone or reject someone or fire someone, because that's the
Mm,
toughest part of the job. You know. Be a good, nice boss is really cool. But when you're in charge of people's life, when you understand that your decision, for example, you need to lay off someone, right? But uh, it will influence their life, right? People become jobless. They need to look for the new job, and you need to make sure that the personal self-esteem will not go down. You have to care of your employees, right? And I think that was very valuable for me to learn from him, because in China in general, employers, especially small business, nobody really cares how would fired employee feel. It's like, yeah, you didn't do good, I'm sorry, but you have to go. You can go nicely, like just quit by yourself, so we won't like make it a big fuss out of it. That's it. That's a very Chinese way, you know. But it's not very common in the Western world. I think you know it pretty well, right? We need to take care of our employees and make sure they are happy. And even if we need to fire someone, we need to do it by saving person's dignity and make sure that he or she will not feel disappointed or depressed or lose confidence. Otherwise, it would be very hard for that person to find the job in the future. That's why I think that was a very, very valuable experience and lesson I learned from my dad. Like how to talk to people and how to explain them that the world is not ending here. There is a new beginning there.
mm. Wow. Yeah, that's really something I actually didn't really consider, Okay, so the position of ownership seems like there's like a high degree of responsibility, and that can that be a burden sometimes when dealing with business and having like your own responsibilities. everyday life.
Oh, I believe it is a huge burden, you know. Maybe people don't really see it because, you know, like when you're a business owner, everybody just sees a like outer picture of it, right? Like you're a successful person going to your own office and dealing with your own company and employees, and like you're flexible, you're free to go to vacation wherever you want. But it's like an outer layer, right? It's just a fuss which people create, but the reality of being a business owner is a huge burden because you're not only in charge of yourself, you're in charge of your employees. Besides, you're in charge of your own company. You every decision you make or don't make as well, right? Because it's also a decision not to make a decision. Uh, it will have some consequences in the future. And if you make a wrong decision, for example, and let's say company does something illegal, or you don't pay cl- attention on what you are doing very well, it might not only cause financial troubles but also legal troubles for yourself or your employees, right? So you have to always oversee everything and take responsibility for everything, especially in China with the small businesses, because here business is not that separated from the private person. As long as you're a legal representative of your own company, you have all the responsibilities, including the legal ones and criminal ones as well. So you have to pay
Wow.
very close attention, and it does become a burden very, very often. I remember in the beginning when I just started, uh, sometimes I couldn't fall asleep until like 4, 5 a.m. because I was like thinking there's some problem, I don't have solution, what to do, how to deal with it, or when company has some financial troubles, right? Like during pandemic, for example, when everything suddenly shut down and you have no way to earn anything, but you still have to pay salaries, you still have to pay rent, and expenses are growing month by month, but you cannot fully operate because all your customers shut down and you have to shut down. So at the situations like these, the burden became really huge. That's the reality. Yeah, that's a downside, I guess, of being a business owner. Sure.
Yeah, thank you. So as an owner, like when you not having customers, actually come through, and you still have to pay salaries. What about yourself? Like, how do you manage
Oh, at that point, basically, I think any owner would take a huge loss. And I remember the moment, like we're in the middle of pandemic when everything was closed, and I realized that, oh gosh, the company is kind of running out of money because the company mostly operates on cash flow. And if there is no new cash coming, yeah, company does have some savings because you don't take the profits like every month, right? You most likely wait until the end of the year to, or this financial year, to get the profits. But at that moment, I remember I was panicking a lot. And then for a couple of months, I had to pay salaries from my own pocket. I'm not talking about earning anything. I'm talking about paying people from my own pocket, from a personal savings, not a company's part. Because I understand that all my employees, they have their own lives. They have children, they have parents, somebody's sick, somebody has a issue, somebody's husband got COVID. So you cannot just say, sorry guys, but yeah, enjoy your life. I can do nothing. Company ran out of cash. But at that point, I remember lots of employees, they were also working like really hard and trying to reach to customers because they felt it. They felt that they knew the situation, they understood that company is not operating properly and there is no new cash coming. So they understood that I was paying from my own pocket, and they were really trying very, very hard to at least get something out of customers, at least offer like online consultations or offer some kind of online support that the company could get some cash from the customers. So I think it's a double way. You don't get anything and you support your employees out of your own pocket, but you also get more care and respect and support from your customer, from your employees. And they also try to work harder towards your customers. So as a business owner, you cannot only think of yourself like, oh, business is only a money making machine. It's really like a baby. I always take a business as a child. At some point, you have to support your child when he's or she's small, right, and cannot maintain its own life. But then at couple of years or months or some period of time, let's say, the business will start supporting you back as a adult. So when
Wow.
your child has an issue, you have to support your child, no matter how old the child is, right? In this case, I think the relationship between the business and the business owner are more harmonious, and you don't feel that much like a job. You feel like, okay, I own it. But at the same time, when the business needs you, you have to jump in and do everything possible, physically and financially as well.
Jeez. Wow, that sounds like, a big that's like you have to be a grown up, I guess, to like really own a business. It's not just about making money, but it's about
It is.
really ownership. So I guess there's a
Yeah.
skill to being an owner. It's not like just having. It's like there's definitely ownership skills. Would you say like there's a particular skill that's different perhaps from being a someone who runs a business versus someone who owns a business?
I think it's hard to say about the skill. I would rather call it a mindset rather than a
Mm,
skill, because skill is something you can always gain over the extended period of time, right? But the mindset, that is something what I think define a business owner. You cannot think as a customer, you cannot think as an employee, you cannot think as a part of the business. You have to think as a head of this business. And I think that's what pretty much define the business owner. And that's what business owners should grow. And people who want to get the business, they should first get the business mindset and then jump into the business with finance or without financing. But the key point here is to grow up to become a business person rather than just invest cash which you have and then struggle with it day by day.
did you then create a new business, or did you just go on holiday and enjoy the rest of your life? Say, okay, I'm retired now. I made some money.
I can't imagine to retire at this point. It's just too boring. I guess maybe my personality is not suitable for retirement. I always have to do something. But I think at some point of life, right now, for example, I would probably I enjoy more flexibility and do like freelance business consult rather than and I'm teaching business rather than run or build a big company from scratch again. I just really
Okay.
enjoy a little bit flexibility at this point of my life and spend some more time with family.
And I think last time we were speaking on the phone, you mentioned that you were actually teaching business at particular academies. How did that work? How does it work?
It's pretty interesting actually, because teaching is a great way to summarize your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, and pass it to someone else. Right now, I'm teaching in two universities. I teach one in Britain, in University of West England, and one university in Shanghai, Shanghai Institute of Technology. Pretty much, I enjoy both of them. They're very different public, though. British kids or Chinese in Britain, and the pure Chinese kids here. But it's really a great opportunity to pass what I've learned in a hard way, and try to create some soft cushion for those kids. So because they all major in business, when they graduate, they all have a dream to run their own business. But from my own experience, I understand that running a business is like falling down from the skyscraper directly on the hard floor. So I hope that like teaching, it's like for me is like creating a soft cushion under their butts. So when they fall down, it won't be that painful.
I was asking you, what kind of
Mhm.
students do you have? Are they business owners, or they like looking to get into
No,
business?
they are mostly just a bachelor and master students. Some of them really into business. They want to do business. Some of them already tried, to do business before and failed. So they decided to go to study, especially for master program. But basically, all of them already had some experience before. But majority of them, they never tried anything. They have good experience from their parents, like their parents are business owners or used to be, maybe already retired. But in general, they do have some exposure to business already, maybe even from the side of family or something. But they understand how the business operates more or less.
Oh wow. Okay, that's amazing, man. And how did you end up getting this position? Did you apply or did someone say, "Yo, Nick, we want you to teach"?
Yeah, it's basically it was like that. I went for some, it's like a conference or something, I don't remember, and I was invited to give a speech there. And then after there was one guest from university, and he just came over and he was like, "Hey, I'm Bob. I'm from this university. Do you want to chat a bit?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we had a coffee and chat more. Then he invited me to come over to give a speech in university, just like a public speech in library for students who want to try their own business. And then they just invited me to come over to teach there. First, I was
Oh,
having big doubts because I kind of like didn't really feel like teaching, but after trying, I fell in love with it because it's really great. I mean, it's you're working with adults, with the people who want something, who came to university with some idea, and you really help them. You are every day. You're changing their lives basically. You support them. A lot of them, like we have subjects like business simulation, where we run the company, virtual company, right? We have dedicated software for that. So you give them suggestions, they try, they make mistakes. We have projects when they participate, some real businesses in Shanghai, like bakeries, small stores, some small manufacturing factories and stuff like that. And they are learning how to run the business, and then they come to you and they are saying, "Okay, I've seen this but I disagree." And then you have discussion why, and it's pretty interesting. It's a very practical approach. That's what I really
wow.
like about higher education, because it's very, very practical. It's not like a theoretical one that you just sit in the classroom and blah 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 whole day, about like book which is 50 years old.
Yeah. But this is interesting because it seems like it ties into your consultation experience.
Yeah, and that's what I pretty much enjoy about it, because it doesn't create any problem with this. I can still enjoy doing business consult, and it even does help me a lot because while doing projects from university, I can also meet a lot of business owners, and if I see there is an issue, I can help them to solve it as a freelancer, contractor to their business.
Ah, wow, man, that keeps you in the flow. That keeps you really productive. I can imagine. And do you
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
imagine yourself partnering with some of your students?
Uh, I wouldn't say no, but so far I haven't seen anything I would really be very interested in. But if one day, for example, one of the students would say, "Okay, I want to do something together, and the thing is really interesting," why not? I mean, I always take them as equal. I don't need to take them as something lower or higher. We are partners, because I believe that higher education is about sharing and partnering rather than I'm your teacher and you have to listen to me, whatever I say. So why not?
Oh, that's really interesting, man. How many students do you have roundabout?
Overall, I guess around 200, more or
Wow,
less. Yeah, because
two
I have some
hundred.
big. Yeah, because I have some really big classes when there are like three, four classes coming together. It's like a huge lecture when you teach 200 students. And I also have around 50 students in a British university, because I teach several classes, not only one subject.
Oh, wow. Okay. Geez, that's pretty incredible. So when you're teaching, are you teaching in large lecture hall auditoriums?
Yeah, we have different. I mean, I have different things. I have lectures when I teach like huge auditorium with like like amphitheater. where the hundreds of people sitting and watching you, and other professors also coming to jump in, some like other lectures coming occasionally. Sometimes even like we invite business owners or something just to share something during the lecture, you know. As well as I have small classrooms with like 5 6 students only, like when we do some workshops or teamwork or analyze like their team achievement. So it varies, you know. I cannot say that it's only like averagely, I think the classroom is around 30 students. It's like everyday routine is around 30 to 40 students is a normal amount. But it goes up to like 100 something, and it can go down up to like 3 to 5 students as well.
Oh wow, okay. And the curriculum, because like it's interesting to learn about the way business is taught. I'm very fascinated by how this world works. Is it like a curriculum based sort of structure? Or how does it work?
It's different, you know. In China, it is very much curriculum based. There's still books, but they don't really push you to teach by the book, but they still require you to cover everything from the book. And then whatever you want to add on the top of this, it's up to you. If you want to update the data, for example, because book is like 10 years old and the data is inaccurate, you know, when you teach HR, for example, and there is no COVID, no pandemic mentioned there, it's just already irrelevant, you know, because world has changed, you know.
Yeah.
But for British university, for example, there is no curriculum. They just give you the topic of the course and the name basically, and do whatever you want. They give you the
Wow.
objective, like this is what the course should uh, be like shaped, like be shaped into, and that's what the final target, what the students should know, like in general, right? And then, for example, if it's a business simulation, then the students must be able to complete the simulation, and their company must survive, or at least like keep afloat. And how you're gonna do that, how you're gonna teach them which books to choose, it's all up to you. You do your own presentations, you do your own flow, you do your own examples, you shift you make the schedule as you wish. Like any day you think it fits you, you just coordinate with like a course coordinator so it won't overlap with other subjects. But it's very, very flexible. You can do also offline and online both fine. Like there is no attendance neither for professors or teachers nor for students, so it's very flexible. For example, I don't feel like going anywhere, I can just do everything online. Or if I feel, for example, that I want to use the classroom, let's say in Chinese university, but link it to British one, it's also okay because they're partnering with each other as well. So if I really feel like, okay, I would like to do the library today, and some students who study in Britain, they stay here in China still because they are unable to go by some personal reason. So they can either come to the classroom or they can jump in online and just, you know, listen online together with their British classmates.
Wow, man, that's incredible. That's
So
really innovative.
uh, it's very
Wow.
cool, you know. That's why I love it, you know, because it's very, very innovative. And yeah, it gives some pressure for people because you have to prepare everything. Nobody gives you anything, you know. But at the same time, you're your own boss, and you think like you take it as a business, right? So you just do it as you wish. Nobody tells you what to do or how to do, you know.
Okay, okay. And let's say, I mean, my students are young, they're not university students, but they are very interested in the world of business. Would you say it's possible for younger students, maybe like, teenagers or even pre-teenagers, is it
Mm-hmm.
possible for them to start learning or to start building their own businesses?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think business has an age. I mean, yeah, obviously it's very hard for a pre-teenage or teenager to build a multinational company. It's right, very, very bit difficult. But it doesn't mean that they cannot do anything. Like in Shanghai, for example, I've been organizing before the activities for children from 5 years old to learn how the business runs, because my son is 5. So I've been organizing activities for like his age and elder. I partnered with McDonald's, I partnered with KFC. So
Wow.
they arranged the a manager who would just take 5 to 6 kids at once, and throughout the day it's like 4 or 5 groups, and they will basically like explain to children in a simple way, how does McDonald's run, how is it as a business model based on the small shop, like a microcosm, you know, like, okay, like in the morning we, like in the evening we place the order for how much we expect to sell tomorrow. Then in the morning, like 5 a.m., the truck will arrive. They will show the pictures. They actually showcase like how the loading is going, where the food is going, how the food is processed, like how people come to work, what is clock in, check in, like what kind of precautions people should do, what clothes they should wear, what is the like meaning of the uniform. So this is the base of business, right? You don't run the business itself, but you do understand how the business runs and how does it really work. And they also understand what is the manager doing, what is the personal managerial response in the and responsibility in this particular store. So I don't see any barriers for anybody to learn business or try doing business, as well as, for example, I was partnering with several kindergartens in Shanghai just for fun, basically, to make kind of a small stores within the school. So 3 to 4 children of kindergarten age, they were basically trying to set up their own store and then
Wow.
using the internal currency, sell their products and everybody had a budget like $10, let's say, right? And then they were just like buying, selling, or investing back in their business to grow more, to buy more
Mm.
machines or hire more employees to make more things. And I tell you, some kids were so creative and successful that they started from like $10 and after 2 weeks they had like 300 already.
What?
So
That's
like
amazing.
gathering all the money from everybody, it's really, so there is no barrier, there is no age gap or something. Like whoever says that you have to wait until you're 30 to start the business or to learn how the business works, it's not right. I encourage everybody, like all my friends, I encourage them, teach children economy from the young age. Start from
Ah,
chores and pay them for their chores, start
thank
teaching
you.
them how the life works, that you do the job, you get $1, one kwai, 1 cent, whatever you like, you do this, you get something paid. You walk the dog, I give you $2. Then the kid understands. Then you want to buy a toy, please use your own money, no problem. Then they get the
Exactly.
value of this money. And it's a first lesson of business, right? To understand the value of the money. I do something, I earn. I don't do anything, I'm sorry, but you know, no fun.
Man, Nick, you're a champion, my man. You're an absolute legend. Seriously, like
Uh,
I've been dying to hear those kind of words. Seriously, man. Because my
mm,
students, they want to get involved, but they don't have the
mm,
confidence and they don't have the exposure.
mm,
They also don't have the mentorship. And I love
mhm,
what you've
mhm.
done, man. You've actually, literally, I would say, fulfilled my dream, bro. Because that's
Man, you
amazing.
just implement it. You just do it, man. Do it, do it, do it. It's
Ah,
possible. It's not that hard. I mean, you can talk to your school as well. We can discuss it with you. I can give you some ideas later, privately, and you can just do it because it's really cool. Believe me, when you see those kids and doing their own small stores and stuff, it's incredible, man. It's a great feeling of
wow.
achievement.
That's amazing. Jeez, okay, I'm definitely gonna contact you on that. Nick, I don't want to take too much of your time, man. I really appreciate it. I know
No
you're a
worries,
busy
no
man, you're
worries.
family man, and I just want to say thank you so much for gracing me with this, podcast. It's been such I've enjoyed it so much with all the technical difficulties that we've had. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience and thank you for the knowledge, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me today, and I'm very glad to share whatever I can. Thank you, man. Thank you as well.
Man, it's been such a blessing, man. Thank you. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day.
You
I can't
too.
wait to hear more of the success that you're achieving and just, the knowledge that you're spreading, man. It's really amazing.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good day as well. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
It's a
See ya.
pleasure, my man. All right. Bye bye. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh, it just, I'm so blessed. We are so blessed. It's a banger, another banger. I don't know. The show just keeps like when I think the show has gotten like very good, the show just gets better. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased here and just I don't know. The guests just keep getting hotter and hotter. I can't even compare them anymore. Everybody's in a league of their own, and everybody's just providing such value. For me, it's about the young stunners. It's like what can the young guys take and run with. And wow, Nick is really doing it. Wow. Uh, guys, I don't even know what to say. I'm fulfilled. I have no more words, guys. The future is electrically bright. There's no denying that for the young guys it's their time. It's time. They are shining. It's not their time to shine. They are shining. Thank you so much, Nick.